What secrets lie behind Jacob's engagement to Sophie? What role will Elder Frank play in Jacob's life? And what consequences will Jacob face if he resists his fate?
Jacob stared at the old man, stupefied. Sam and the others, however, suddenly let go of his arm and stepped away to stand at a distance from him. There were quite a number of students walking by the dorm entrance. Some had just got back from their classes, and the others were leaving for home with their backpacks. The others were simply curious about the limousine. They all started staring at Jacob curiously as the uniformed man and the elderly man approached him. Jacob was completely embarrassed, but he kept silent. "Please get in the car," Elder Frank said to Jacob reverently. "No!" Jacob's stubbornness exploded as he shouted. "What the hell is this? I didn't even get a notice beforehand." Jacob wasn't pleased about this at all. "My son, you are already engaged to Sophie. It's best not to act irrationally on these things," said Elder Frank. Although none of the other students were within earshot of their conversation, Sam and his other roommates could hear each and every word. "Engaged?" They couldn't help but say it out loud. "Who's Sophie?" Sam asked the others, confused by what was happening. But they simply shook their heads blankly in response. "Would you like us to keep waiting here?" Elder Frank asked kindly. "All right, you win." Seeing a crowd of students gathering, Jacob quickly got into the car without wasting another second. The black limousine drove away from the entrance along with Jacob. "It will be hard for it to be low-key after this," thought Jacob. "What's the deal with Jacob?" Sam spoke up as the car drove out of the university gates. The vehicle drove smoothly through the city for a little while before it arrived at a 2-story house. No one would think of it as the house of a rich family by its unpretentious look. The vehicle stopped, and Elder Frank got out of the car along with Jacob. He rang the doorbell. "Come in." A cheerful lady wearing an apron opened the door and said softly, "I've brought him, madam. I'm heading back now. Please call me if you need anything," Elder Frank told the woman politely. "Yes, thank you, Elder Frank. I won't keep you from your work. It seems like you are about to break through the 9th level of Purple Light Scroll. I won't waste any more of your time," she said softly. "Thank you, madam." Elder Frank curtsied, sat back inside the limousine, and drove away. The woman smiled at Jacob, who was at the door, and said, "Come and sit down." She had a warmth in her smile and a friendly face. Her hair was tied up elegantly as if she had just walked out of a painting. Seeing her, Jacob forgot about all the unpleasantness that had happened just a few minutes ago. "Oh my!" he exclaimed as he walked into the house. He stepped into the living room, which was cozy and luxurious. "You haven't eaten yet, have you?" She guided Jacob inside the house and asked. "No, not yet," he answered politely. He couldn't be annoyed anymore after this kind of treatment. Talking to this lady reminded him of his mother, who he hadn't seen in a long, long time. "I'm Helen, Sophie's mom. Her dad has gone to pick her up from school, and they should be back soon. Go ahead and take a seat. I'll go cook." She led Jacob to the couch and smiled. Then she walked into the kitchen. This must be the precise definition of what an understanding wife and loving mother is like, Jacob thought to himself as he watched her walking away. Jacob sat down and looked around the house. Even though it appeared to be plain and simple-looking on the outside, the interiors and the decoration were elegant and resplendent. A white staircase to the left led to the bedrooms on the second floor. There was a study on the right. A large, dark brown bookshelf inside the study depicted how knowledgeable the family was. The rug in the living room was soft and plush. Jacob could judge how wealthy the family was by looking at the size of the medieval-styled chandelier that hung in the middle of the living room. The doorbell rang, and soon Jacob heard footsteps approaching the living room. Drakon entered with Sophie, and as soon as she saw Jacob, she gritted her teeth. Sophie was wearing her light blue school uniform. Though she gritted her teeth with hate when she saw Jacob, she wasn't surprised at seeing him. Her dad had informed her of Jacob's arrival. "Oh, you're here," Drakon greeted Jacob with a friendly smile. "Hello." Jacob quickly stood up and greeted him. He didn't really see Drakon as his father-in-law, but he had to be polite since he was a guest here. He glimpsed at Sophie, who was now sitting on the chair, pouting. Jacob shivered at the thought of getting engaged and falling in love with a young girl like her, not to mention their complicated background. "It's okay, Soph," Drakon said calmly and turned to Sophie. "You guys chat. I still have some work to do." He walked into the study and started going through some documents. Sophie stood on the carpet as she stared at Jacob. She looked like she wanted to eat him alive. "Let me warn you, I never agreed to marry you," she said aggressively. "The problem is, I never wanted to get married to you either, okay? What can I do when I've been kidnapped and brought here?" Jacob gave Sophie an angry look as well. He then thought to himself, should I be getting angry at a schoolgirl? Oh no, wait, she's my fiancée. Jacob gritted his teeth. "I'm going upstairs to play on my computer. Sit by yourself." Sophie gave Jacob a scornful look and began to walk towards the stairs. "Sophie, where do you think you're going? Go back and sit with Jacob now." Drakon's stern voice came from the study. Sophie gritted her teeth and stopped walking. She pouted after contemplating seriously for a while, rolled her eyes, and slowly walked back down to the living room as if there were thousands of stones tied around her feet dragging her down. She sat on the couch beside Jacob reluctantly. "We can watch some TV if you don't want to talk." Jacob looked at her reluctantly and turned on the television with the remote control. Sophie kept on staring at him angrily. Ignoring her, Jacob went on browsing the channels to find something interesting to watch. A kids' channel came on and the song Baby Shark began to play. "Is that good?" Jacob turned to her. "That's more like your taste." "How dare you!" Sophie reached out to grab something from the table to hit him with. "Sophie!" Drakon thundered out her name again from the study. He knew exactly what Sophie was doing. It seemed as if he had left a pair of eyes in the living room. Sophie kept down the vase that she had grabbed reluctantly, but her eyes were still fixated on Jacob. "I'm warning you, do not make me mad." Jacob smiled lightly. "You hate me that much?" Sophie pouted. "Well, I don't like you at all." "Me neither. You are always mad, and you are not all that pleasant to be around either. It would be a pity if anyone had to marry you," said Jacob. "How could you?" Sophie's eyes were wide as she looked at Jacob. "Stop fighting, you two. You are going to be husband and wife in the future." Helen walked out of the kitchen with a dish in her hands. "Mom, he is bullying me," Sophie said in a childish manner. "I saw it all, and you were the one bullying him. Now be nice to Jacob and make him feel at home. He has come here for the first time." Helen smiled softly and walked back into the kitchen. "Fine, good for you. Uncle. Even my parents are on your side." Sophie had her scowl back on as soon as her mother left the room. "Why are you so reluctant in marrying me, by the way? Is it because I'm a stranger, or that you don't like me? Or is it because you have a boyfriend at school?" he asked as he thought about all the high school couples he saw on the street when he had gone to meet Sophie at her school. She looked cute that day, thought Jacob. Maybe if she was seeing someone, there might just be some way out of this, Jacob thought happily. He then thought about the bead in his stomach and felt disappointed all over again. He asked again, "Answer my question. Are you seeing someone, Sophie?"
Will Jacob and Sophie find a way to reconcile their differences, or will their arranged marriage tear them further apart? What surprises await Jacob as he becomes embroiled in Sophie's family and their mysterious world?
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.